Ladies and gentlemen, lords and ladies, today we have a brand new tier list for you, championed by my good friend and colleague Sparsh.
Hi.
Because when me and my cousin made a tier list, which obviously you can't see, he disapproved of quite a few of the options that we made, so he would like to provide his own opinion on the movies and see whether I agree, I'm sure I'll disagree, on one specific property in particular, not naming that property in any way, shape or form.
Hey, leave that property right there.
Okay, you take the lead on this one. This is yours. Like and subscribe, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. So first of all, Ant-Man and the Wasp. When I watched Harry and his cousin's video, wait, can I say his name? Your cousin's name?
You just keep it private.
Okay, when Harry and his cousin did this tier list, I saw that he put Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania in C, and I don't honestly agree. I feel the most important part of it is just the post-credit scene, and other than that, it's the villain isn't really that good. Besides, there are a lot of unimportant plot lines that never get finished. A lot of loose ends, and I didn't really like the whole house arrest insurgency trying to going out for Scott Lang. Like, Scott's a good person. I mean, okay, it's questionable, but still, he's still a good person. But still, I didn't really like the villain, and also I didn't really like the villains, and also the stakes didn't really feel that high whatsoever.
Staying on Scott, moving on to Ant-Man 1.
This movie was a lot better in my opinion. It doesn't start with Scott being a hero, but rather a villain. A villain with a troubled life. He's barely able to afford for his family and has to resort to crime in order to provide for his family.
Moving back a couple of years to 2014, Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I like the tone for it. It feels very grounded since Scott is just starting to feel like what it is to don on the
Talk about Age of Ultron already.
don on the Ant-Man suit. And I'll move swiftly along. I like the heist scene. I liked the villain. I like the final battle. Yada yada. Age of Ultron. There isn't. I gave it a low A. I'd say it's better than. I'd say it's better than Ant-Man, but I'd say I liked the Avengers movie, Avengers Age of Ultron movie. It's a movie, like a family movie. It's like a movie you could watch anytime.
A family movie with a psychotic robot trying to destroy the universe, yeah.
It's a nice reminisce. It reminisces the good old days of Phase 2.
I mean, it's Phase 4 and 5 on the horizon.
The villain in it is quite. He's a deep thinker, and he is said to be quite a good villain, and that I can agree with. And there are said to be many problems with it, e.g., Quicksilver and all that. There are some good parts to it as well.
Mate, at the rate you're going, this video is going to be 2.5 hours long.
Please. Oh my god. I'll try and make my descriptions more brief. Avengers Infinity War. Do I have to say anything about it?
No,
Captain Marvel C. I found Captain Marvel honestly quite boring, and Ronan only appeared in it for 2 seconds, and Captain Marvel just destroyed them. And none of the villains were good in Captain Marvel, and the origin story wasn't that good, but it did provide a funny insight into how Nick Fury lost his eye, and also reintroduces one of my favourite characters, Phil Coulson.
For like 2 seconds.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Harry rated it A, but I think it should have gone in S. It's a very good movie, and it's known for its tone, which hasn't been replicated in a lot of other movies.
Black Widow attempted it and failed miserably.
Yes.
I'm just the pessimist in this video.
This tone is really good, and also I like the villain Pierce. He's like a political type villain, which isn't much types of villains we see. And yeah, Captain America, I'll give it a B. It's a half decent movie. It introduces a good hero. I like how the tone it sets and how it captures the time, like how life would have been at that time of World War. It captures it well. And yeah, I'll move on. Civil War S. Is there anything else I need to say? I mean, it's nothing. I'm not nothing, but it's definitely nowhere near Infinity War but I like the villain. I liked how it takes a different tone where the heroes are fighting themselves and how that was the villain Zemo's plan all along. Doctor Strange, I'd give it a low A. I'd probably rate it better, a lot worse than Ant-Man. But I just find magical stuff more boring. But anyway, I like Doctor Strange. I like the effects. But the problem was, I think the villains, in my opinion, were the problem. Caecilius was just he was just some cult leader trying to bring back Dormammu. And doesn't he just get killed by his own Dormammu anyway? I just didn't like him. Avengers Endgame, need I say more? Guardians of the Galaxy, A. I'll put it, I'll put it after Avengers: Age of Ultron. It's a funny movie, and it's actually the first movie that takes place in space. And it's a really good scene introducing a funny trio. It's actually the first movie that doesn't feature one of the original six Avengers. And so the villain was meh, but the characters were good. They're not they try and find their moral compass and they straighten it. And yeah, it's a good movie. I'm not trying to give too detailed because I don't want to make this video too long. Guardians of the Galaxy.
You're doing a great job of that so far.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I'd say it's a B, only because it sets a funny tone, a space tone. But the problem was the villain was good, but the problem was, it was a quite simple plot. But I feel like I didn't really like Aisha and all those golden people back there, and also Yondu's death. I don't know why. It just wasn't emotionally impactful to me.
I don't know what you're on. It was fine.
Like, it wasn't emotionally impactful to me.
Maybe you just watch a different version of the movie.
Far From Home. Far From Home. Yeah, I liked it. I liked the Mysterio, but the problem was I wish there was actual magic in it. Like the comics, but they took a different time with it. But I just didn't like the motivation. I'll put it ahead of Doctor Strange, and Ant-Man, but still, I still don't think I'm not putting it ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy, in my opinion. So, wait, hang on, let me do a bit of reordering. Yeah.
Just to offer my own opinion on Far From Home, contrary to the belief of every single person I know.
Yeah, we all go watch the other video to see his belief.
Mate, it's not even public. Everyone I know prefers Homecoming over Far From Home. I am like the only person I know who prefers Far From Home over Homecoming.
Okay.
It is better.
The Incredible Hulk. I remember used to liking watching this movie as a kid, but the problem is it's quite forgettable. So that's not really a good sign for the movie. And if I was to rewatch it, I'm pretty sure I'd find it quite boring. So I'm going to put it at C. Iron Man. Wait, is this Iron Man? I don't know. Oh no, that's Iron Man 2. That's probably a low B. I remember you liking to watch the movie, but I don't like there's villains again, such as Justin Hammer and Whiplash, that aren't good whatsoever. The motivation was good, but they were just wasted villains. Iron Man 3, I put it at, it's slightly better, but still just B minus overall. Tony Stark just dumping his suits in the ocean just doesn't make sense. And Aldrich Killian wasn't a good villain, and the whole Trevor Slattery fake out wasn't good. It was not good either. The original Iron Man, I'm putting that even higher. I'd put that at a solid B, just B. It was a good It was a good start to the MCU, introducing a guy who seemed cocky at first, but moving forward, his moral compass seemed to have straightened. I don't know why I'm saying that a lot. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, S.
The first one.
Huh?
No, Wakanda Forever, the first one.
Sorry. The original Black Panther, S. I like the villain. It kind of sets a really good message for racism. Even better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier in my opinion. And Killmonger was angry at the world for how it treated black people. It's a really good message from a really good villain, and also Yeah, there was nothing wrong with the movie, but the problem was it felt very It just felt kind of disconnected from the MCU, apart from Ulysses Claw and Black Panther appearing in Civil War. So, but still, I don't. I think it's still an S.
Homecoming.
A Homecoming B. When I saw Harry's video, they put it in S. I don't believe. I definitely do not believe this. While it has a grounded feel, it just it doesn't
Honestly,
feel
personally, I don't really agree with that. I just want to point that out. That was like a year ago.
okay. But I just don't want to say. I just don't think that Homecoming is S tier material. Nowhere near. I just don't. It has a grounded feel. I like the grounded feel, but it's a youthful vibe. But actually, I'll give it a high B. It's definitely better than these two movies. I'd say it's better than
You put it
that.
Far From Home higher than it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I'm putting that there. Oh wait, hang on. I'm just gonna do a bit of reordering. Yep. And then Thor, it was probably a low B. It introduces a good character. He got banished for his arrogance,
Varnish.
and his character arc is decent as he turned. And Loki was a good villain. Thor: The Dark World D. I remember getting. I can't remember if it was this or the original movie, but I got really bored of it. And also, Malekith is really forgettable. His story doesn't tie in anywhere else apart with the Reality Stone, but not Malekith himself. Ragnarok, I'm giving high A. Like no, I wouldn't put it at S. Only it was a good movie, very funny, with good visuals, but I'd say it's suffering a big problem that all Thor movies are suffering. Like Thor needs a spark. Like he always needs someone, needs something to make him reach his full potential. Other than that, otherwise he's just otherwise he's just like moping around. But then there's something that inspires him to become better, and then suddenly he just goes full Goku mode. And the fight, it was very funny. It was definitely very funny, but I feel like it goes to the whole. Again, I would say there's a slight bit of tonal inconsistency with Thor throwing Loki like a ragdoll, and then there's also neglect from Odin.
But it's handled better than in Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
Which is name is this not is that on this tier list?
yeah. Okay. Hang on. I just need to do a bit of reordering. Actually, yeah. The original Avengers, yeah, it was good, but it was good. I'd say just slightly better than Age of Ultron, but slightly better than Age of Ultron, but I don't know. I don't have much to say. I've only watched it once. It's a really good. It's a good movie of all the Avengers coming together. They didn't at first agree, but as they soon learn to put aside their differences, they learn to become a pretty good team. And also, it's a return of a really good villain. WandaVision. WandaVision, I put A. Lots of people would probably disagree with me, but here's why. WandaVision is a good show. I am not disagreeing with that. Sorry, Harry's playing a Gario and he got massacred. Anyway, so I'd say, what would I say? WandaVision is a good show. It's definitely a good show. A tier worth, but the reason it is an S is because I just don't. It starts off pretty slow. Like the first 3 episodes are pretty redundant, apart from some small things. But the villain was good. That's it. And also the whole twist. It kind of portrays Wanda as a bad person, and also puts in forth the multiverse of madness. So it's a good show, first TV show, and it takes a different way, and it's a good thing. It's a theme that you would never expect to see in a Marvel movie.
Give the MCU something new.
Yeah. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'd say it's a mid B. I like Zemo. I liked the whole buddy cop dynamic between Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I liked Zemo. The Flag Smashers were half decent villains. They fought for something they believed in, and they were willing to die for it to make sure they got what they wanted. And like they were homeless vagrants. The stakes didn't feel high at first, but they made their stakes go higher and higher, and that's respectable. But the problem was they pushed too far into getting what they wanted, and it made them less sympathetic. So yeah, I wouldn't. That's why it's going to be Shang-Chi. I'll go put it in A. I just need to do some quick reordering. Shang-Chi definitely goes A. A is A definitely because I like the villain. I mean, I liked the villain. Zhu Wenwu was a very powerful person, and it actually put some story behind the Mandarin, who's been a mystery for years, who was believed to be Aldrich Killian, and it actually makes this villain even worse, but more worse than it already was. So that's good. Anyway,
moving on.
Anyway, I like Shang-Chi's story. It puts in like a fantasy story. It actually lives up to having the story of fantasy. But the reason it's not S is because Wenwu was a good villain, but the Dweller in Darkness, he only appeared for a couple of minutes and he died. But the visuals were good, the music was good, the action scenes were good, and that's why it's a solid high A. Black Widow, yeah, low C. Low C.
What were you expecting?
What were you expecting, am I right? The reason being because first of all, there were too many problems. It was released between Civil War and Infinity War. It was
well, that was the time when it took place.
Yeah. It was released after COVID, and it was released after a death. So
a character death.
Yeah. So it didn't, and so it kind of lowered the impact of the whole thing.
Especially since it took place in a time where there wasn't much story to tell.
Yeah. And also, I didn't really like the final scene. It kind of felt a bit stereotypical. It raised the stakes, but in a bad way. It raised the stakes in a bad way. When it comes to someone like Black Widow, she's not going to save an entire ship falling out of the sky. So it's Black Widow. It's not Iron Man or Iron Man or Thor. It's Black Widow. I don't think the Red Room should have collapsed from the sky. And I didn't like Dreykov either. Antonia was okay. The reveal to be Antonia was okay, but I found it kind of pointless that of Dreykov's like trick of the pheromonal look. Couldn't somebody just shoot him couldn't Black Widow just take 5 steps back and shoot him? Also, why did she have to announce that she knew about the pheromonal look? And couldn't she just broken her nose beforehand, pretended as she got injured during the fight, and then just moved 5 steps back and then killed him, or just killed him right there. Anyway, that's too much discussion. Okay, what if? I'd give it a solid B minus. A little bit of reordering again. What If? Okay, What If's a good show. It takes a different take on things. It explains the multiverse, which is good, but the problem is, it doesn't have a story until like the 6th episode, and most of the episodes are really diverse. It's a good and it kind of feels a bit small. The stakes are high, but the episodes feel kind of small on like a grand scale of things, since it's the multiverse. What are they supposed to do about it? Hopefully in What If Season 2, the stakes are higher. Hawkeye, I would have originally given Hawkeye a lot higher, but I would say it's not like good. It's a grounded feel, like I said a lot, but the villain,
You said that quite a lot.
the villains aren't good whatsoever.
The villains are horrible in this show.
Like Maya Lopez is the only half decent person. Everyone else is really, really bad and really, really dumb. So like it doesn't.
Atrocious.
I mean, for someone like Hawkeye, it would have been. For someone like Hawkeye, it would have been. They were easy to take out anyway. They weren't even super soldiers. They were just people, and there was nothing special to them anyway, apart from Maya Lopez. And then the whole Kingpin reveal, where he appeared in the last episode and got
too little, too late.
Yeah, if you knew what happened in Hawkeye, then you understand.
Personally, I feel the show wasn't even about Hawkeye. It was about Kate Bishop. And
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
it
Eternals Do I even need to explain why it's so bad?
That was so boring.
It's so boring. Half the movie is literally just reuniting the Eternals, and then Tiamat, the main villain, appears for 5 seconds and disappears. Icarus flies into the sun for no reason.
Oh, that was funny.
And also, the whole thing is very convoluted about deviants and the whole end of the world thing. Didn't they say it was the end of the world? If it would have been the end of the world, like a good reason Thanos killed everyone because it delayed the emergence of Tiamat. But they also said if Tiamat emerges, then it could mean lots of chaos. Because in the end, the Eternals were trying to prevent Tiamat from emerging, but technically they said if they would have been punished by Arishem if Tiamat didn't emerge. Because I swear Tiamat emerged like the
Personally,
whole.
I feel that this movie had far too much to explain and far too little time to do it, and that's why it failed.
I mean, actually, no, it had too much time. It should have been shortened because half the movie is finding Eternals.
I had too much to explain.
Yeah. No Way Home, I'll give it S. What can I say? It's finally bringing the Sinister Six in a good way. It brings in the multiverse. It shows Peter Parker living a horrible life right now, and Aunt May's death.
That's what we will have to see here. That's what we'll have to see.
Aunt May's death brings it's really emotional. It really affects him. It makes him. It really affects. This movie really hits it on Peter. He's really getting it.
Yeah, this movie doesn't like Peter at all. It really makes him suffer.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Which Spider-Man movie is this?
That's 2.
2? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Spider-Man 2 was probably one of the better Spider-Man films. I'm gonna put that after What If. Actually, I'm gonna put that. No, I'm gonna put that there. Spider-Man 2, I can't remember much of it, but I liked Doc Ock. I liked the whole reveal I liked the whole train scene. I liked the reveal where Harry found out Peter was Spider-Man was his best friend. And the final
Spider-Man's my best friend. I never knew.
the Doc Ock reveal was okay. I mean, the final fight was okay, and MJ and Peter reuniting was okay. Spider-Man 3 A because of S because of the Bully Maguire memes had to go S.
Okay, I can't disagree with that. I honestly just can't disagree with that.
Okay, I know Harry and Jay put it in A. I respect them, but they respectfully should have put it in S. Why didn't they put it in an S?
Our mistake.
Spider-Man 2 C. There's
You
two.
mean Spider-Man 1?
No, this is Spider-Man 2.
Oh, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. There were too many villains. The plot kind of felt convoluted, and also too many villains. Plot felt convoluted. Peter Parker seems socially awkward. Yada yada yada.
I mean, he is socially awkward. That's kind of the point.
I mean, yeah, but he seemed too socially awkward. Okay. And I don't like the first. The first Spider-Man was slightly better than the second one.
Yeah.
I don't like the first Spider-Man because I don't like the beginning scene where Peter Parker's father is like, "Hey, I'm taking down this terrorist over here."
Okay, then suit yourself. Move on to Spider-Man 1.
Okay. Spider-Man 1. Who's the Green Goblin? I like that. It showed Green Goblin's insanity. It was quite.
It was a quaint little origin story.
Yeah, it was quaint. I'll put that. Actually, I'll put it right. I'd put it behind. I'll put it in front of Iron Man 3.
Oh, look what we have next.
What? Oh, okay. I know some people. Loki is very controversial, but I'm gonna skip that. Venom, I'm just gonna put low B. I don't know. It's just not that special. Same with Let There Be Carnage. I'm gonna put. Oh my god. And then. Is that Daredevil? I didn't watch Daredevil, but people said it was really good. Moon Knight, I'm gonna put high A, because I like the whole Egyptian team it has to it, and I really like it. Morbius, I don't know, but people said people said it's really bad. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday.
It's Morbin time.
Shut up. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I'll give it a low B. It was nice. It was a nice, jolly little tune. It was nice and jolly, especially when it kind of sets up Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 being a horrible. It's gonna be really good. I hope it is. Quantumania has to be C.
From what we've heard.
We haven't I haven't watched it, but I've heard it's really bad, and I know what I can tell why.
You're skipping the point. The grand attraction.
No, we will come back to that. The Spy Kids CGI, I think the convoluted plot, the missing plot line.
Again,
this
is all hearsay. We don't actually know this. We haven't watched the movie, but yeah, we can trust it.
I've seen some reviews. Werewolf by Night. I pretty like that. I like the whole maze thing and how Man Thing was killing lots of people. I'm giving that low A.
So, what do you have left?
And then Wakanda Forever, I'm giving that a low A as well.
I would put it at B.
No, I like Namor. That's why.
It's Namor.
I don't care. I like to call him Namor. I'll put it ahead of Ant-Man. I'll put it ahead of, and then that's.
I can respect that.
Wait, would it go ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
It was kind of some bits. I don't know. It doesn't have a youthful feel.
Nothing from Phase 4 apart from No Way Home is kind of.
And then Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, I just give it B. And then
That's fair.
It's just the problem is the 5th episode hardly features Kamala, and
the problem is that it loses that kind of authentic, like that unique kind of feeling that it had. It kind of lost and turned into just a generic Kamala.
And also, finale. It was also as if the homecoming credits threw up everywhere. I mean, that's not technically a bad. It's a good thing and a bad thing. So the credits were. The casting choice was really good. I respect Iman Vellani for being. I think it was a really good idea for her to take up the opportunity to become Miss Marvel. But I felt like it shows a difference, but it also kind of shows her trying to be like Miss Marvel. It's the same way with Riri Williams, not trying to be like Iron Man, but just having Stark tech. Okay. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
We've reviewed this on our channel, actually.
Yeah. I found it more. If I was to watch, I think I've watched it. It was quite boring. The script was bad. The Illuminati only stayed for a few minutes.
My main problem with it is that the script is bad. I didn't really find it boring. But...
Yeah, the script was bad. It was kind of boring. Wanda just killed the Illuminati. Stayed in for 5 seconds. It brought a horror theme, which is good.
Unique.
Yeah, different. Unique. And then that's why it's probably C, not
that's
D.
That's one of the things that Phase 4 kind of had, like uniqueness, but it didn't really.
Yeah. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Mate, I'm talking.
Oh, sorry. Jeez. Okay, say your point.
Uniqueness. It didn't really use that as well as it could have.
Okay. Thor: Love and Thunder. I'll give it B. I'll give it B-, honestly.
Total inconsistencies. Goals sounded different at times, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll give it B-. It has a nice feel to it, but the problem is, Thor needs that spark to get him going, which is Jane and his love for Jane. And also, there's some parts that didn't make sense, like Stormbreaker helping Gore, but Stormbreaker also leading Thor into a building.
It's all quite a mess.
And also, some other it's just quite a mess, and it's tonal inconsistency, yada yada yada. Is there anything else? She-Hulk, I'm giving that C. It's just there's only like few minutes of each episode that makes up a story. The rest of it doesn't make up a story whatsoever.
And then the entire story is just completely ignored in space of this just.
And also the villain is the worst villain I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
which one? Oh yeah, looks like it's finally time. Loki. S.
I respectfully disagree.
Actually, no, S. I stayed to the commitment. S.
Bottom of S.
Like S. It's going ahead of Wakanda Forever. Sorry, and
you mean the original Black Panther?
Yeah, and original Black Panther. Yeah. So here's my reason. Green. Green. The Marvel intro sequence is green.
That's the only reason.
No, the title sequence is good, and also it actually explains the multiverse in a way that's half decent. Like,
Mate, it just confused me 10 times more. I have no idea what you're on
no,
about.
it doesn't.
It does.
It brings in the sacred timeline and variants, which sets up Quantum Mania, and it actually helps Phase 4 move on. It's one of the only shows that doesn't focus on characters from Endgame, but introduces a newish character.
Ish.
It gives the Tom Hiddleston charm of Loki before, and also the Tom Hiddleston Loki charm, and then what's it?
You can't think of anything.
Hey, the Tom Hiddleston Loki charm and his glamour and how good a villain Loki is. We know how deceptive he can be, and he had his own motives. But even after the TVA showed him, and he wanted to get retribution for the cruel injustice he and Sylvie faced from the TVA. And I think it's an S because Loki is a well-rounded character. He's willing to
That's my definition of well-rounded is
well
evil.
no, he's willing to give up his life to to stop the TVA. He's willing to he wanted to originally take control of the TVA, but he wants to now find whoever made the TVA, which was He Who Remains, and stop them because the TV, in his eyes, the TVA causes chaos, which is well shown. The Loki shows that the TVA is causing chaos, especially from Sylvie's perspective. A young little girl being taken from her home for doing nothing. Yeah, for doing nothing.
Okay, so that about wraps everything up. So we hope you enjoyed Sparsh's tier list of Marvel movies. Make sure to like and subscribe, and maybe I'll do my own one day. Thank you for visiting Hash Talks.
Bye!